It's waifu time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the Figma number 382 Kasumi C2 version, which is basically the second costume. It says Dead or Alive 5 over here, but I think that couldn't be further from the truth with this design. This is basically the design of the Kasumi figure. If you don't know the Kasumi figure, that was that one figure that came out like, I don't know, 2004 or something. That exact same design, that exact same anime face. And that's just what I'm saying. Like, Dead or Alive 5 is one of the a little more realistic looking than previous Dead or Alive games, but this is just like full anime. So, also this is my waifu, so I'm expecting a lot. July 2005 was actually when this figure came out, you know, the classic. Who would have guessed that 13 years later, Good Smile looked at it and said, how about we do Figma about it? What's still kind of weird to me is that they took the C2 costume, which is basically their second outfit, not the regular blue one with the shoulder pads, and yeah, just, I guess this one has a lot more fan service, which is really what Dead or Alive was built on, and something that Team Ninja seems to be forgetting these days, a little bit of a reminder. I mean, I still like Dead or Alive 6, it looks good, but if they're really taking out the fan service, I'm off board. So anyway, 14 centimeters, 5.5 inches tall, as I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. Overall look and detail, as I've already mentioned, it has the anime face, which is really not having anything to do with any of the games. There have been, I don't know, have there been official mangas? I've known there have been a lot of hentais. What? Never heard of that. Anyway, anime face, you have the big eyes, and I really like the mold of the hair. It even has some shading. There's a little bit of a darker line going down here and on the tips of her hair. And of course, she has them big boobies. Lots of plastic that went into this. And yes, they are soft-ish. Can push them in. I don't want to scratch it with my fingernail. I don't know if you can see it, but yes. Yes, you can do that, and this keeps falling off from her sword, so I'm just gonna leave it off for the rest of the review. We have the Mugen Tenshin clan logo in the back and the sword on her back as well, which is just pegged in there on a round peg, so you can move that around a little bit. Has a nice gold going on with the clear red handle, and the sword is very, very small. The sword issues. She has a sword and doesn't really use it. Well, she doesn't use it at all during fights. She uses it in cutscenes sometimes. We have a couple of wrinkles going on in her armbands and the ninja stuff that's around her hands. One thing to note about the paint job, the armbands and everything that's closer to the skin is a lot more of a shiny material. But this piece over here, the ninja stuff as I call it, is in a much more muted white. And the same goes for her dress. Her outfit overall has more of a muted white, but then the armbands, they are very shiny, and the stockings also very shiny. But that was kind of like the deal with the original figure. You have a little bit of a metallic paint job going on in the armbands, in the knee socks, the stockings, or what you want to call it. But for the rest of the figure, I mean, the design, I like the design. There's a butt also under there. Okay, of course, Pantsu, guys. It's Pantsu time! That should become a thing. And overall, I like the detail on the figure. There's a little bit of shading going on even over here. Maybe a teeny tiny bit, like a little bit of a blue hue going on. Wow, I'm impressed. Really, once again, only in the dress. Nothing really in the armbands or the pantyhose, not the pantyhose, the stockings. But I guess that's why it's shiny, so we don't have any shading on it. But yeah, there's a little bit of shading going on all throughout the figure, so nice, I like it. Looking at the articulation, the head is on a ball hinge, it moves forward, it gets blocked in the back by the hair itself, and then it would rotate around. Let me lift it up a little bit, but yeah, it goes all the way around, and it does tilt side to side. It's a bit of a bigger ball joint. Usually you have the flat ones. We have the double ball connection in the torso area for the shoulder. So you have one ball in the torso, one ball in the shoulder. You can rotate around, kind of have a bicep swivel, but let me see what you get out of the ball. I mean, forward motion obviously gets blocked by these things. By the way, there's a lot of detail on the side also. There was a lot spent on the boobage. It's still kind of weird how it... Oh, okay, I see what they did there. That's why the boobage is soft. It's not soft on the side though. Because I thought they had a regular body and just draped the boobs over it. That looks kind of ugly from the side. I didn't even notice that before, but minus points for that, boys. Yeah, bicep swivel, single hinge in the elbow, and then the hand is on a ball hinge. So you got some good motion with that, back, forth, and rotates around and off. The golden part over here, is that floaty? Because I think that just moved up. Let me see that. Can you take that off? Yes, you could. Oh, so you can customize a little bit. You can take this entire part off, and I'm trying to pull it down because it looks weird the way it is. You can tell that there's like a line over there where it's supposed to end, but it's not really lining up right now. Oh yeah, and this part of the glove is always connected, but since you can rotate that around with it, you can always have that in the same place, so that's pretty good. Torso articulation, very nice actually. As I'm playing around with the leg articulation, I keep finding new things. So we basically have like a wide joint that ends in a ball in the torso, which you can pull out. You can pull that down, get some better articulation, get some better range for your legs, for you know, some ninja kicks and whatnot. But basically it's just on ball joints, and like I'm saying, it's like a Y-shaped peg that goes into the torso. So you can also rotate it around on the ball joint for some more dynamic poses. Then you got single hinge in the knee, and the foot is just on a ball hinge back and forth and side to side without any toe joints. Figma kind of does these things these days. Sometimes you have a toe joint, sometimes you don't. So there you go. So for the accessories, they basically had one idea, and that's to recreate the famous pose from the figure from back in the day. That's why you have the different hairpiece with the hair draped over the shoulder. Very nice paint job also on it. It has a really lot of shading. The more I look at it, the more I notice it. So kudos to that, and this piece where she just drapes over to pull up her stocking, or I don't even know. She just kind of drapes over to show the boobage. I think that was the original idea. Then we have open hands for the sword, fist hands, a chop hand, and I don't really know what these are. I guess just to pull up the stocking, because I don't really know. They're weirdly shaped. At first I thought like, oh, you can maybe like more posing with the sword. You can't really get the sword in there. And speaking of which, here's the sword. Nice metallic paint job. It is very, very short. Again, more like a dagger to me. And then you have these two pieces, which you can combine on her sword holster or the sword itself. Although, I was not successful in connecting it to the sword so far. I've been trying, and I can't. Yeah, problem with that. And you got the one different face, only one. Like kind of like the shy looking to the side again from the statue. And you got your Figma base and your Figma back. Where is it? There it is. Figma back, the staples, always here, and instructions. So there you go. So that's gonna do it. That's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. And no, I did not put it in the pose because I already have in the pose, in the statue, in the 3 different color versions. Yes, I have the white one, the blue one, and the black one. And if you're saying, are you a fanboy? How can I even listen to your final verdict of this figure? I mean, to me, like being a fanboy of something, I'm not a fanboy, okay? I'm a fan, this is my waifu, so I only want perfection, I only want good figures. So, final verdict, this is a good figure, this is a damn good figure. Here's the deal, guys. Okay, so paint job, you got all the shading in the hair, you got a little bit of shading in her white dress, her ninja outfit. Everything is nice and cleanly done. The only thing I'm really bothered by is how this often disconnects, but this is not really a complaint. You can also rotate this around. Articulation is nice. For it's more regular Figma stuff. There's nothing extraordinary about it, but it works. It's nice. The only thing I can complain about is the one face. I would have liked more like a battle pose or whatnot, but for the rest of it, like I'm saying, the figure looks nice, articulation is nice, and yeah, everything is in place. The boobies are big, they are soft plastic, a little bit of fan service, and yeah, recommended. Go get yourself a Kasumi, but don't call her waifu because she's mine. Mine! Okay, anyway, as usual guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Kasumi wants. right where she belongs with the rest of them. Not to mention these guys, and these guys, and this one, Kasumi.